There were conversations, Nate, but I'm not bringing them up because I think they back up my position, not your position. And I'm being really fucking nice right now.
I didn't even know.
I'm being really fucking nice right now by not bringing them up and really and LB knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I think that I'm not saying things now.
Don't bring up.
I'm not. But Nate, you're pushing me here. But like I said, I have a friend I need to help out today, so this is like I'm on a time crunch today. But Nick Ricada Law, $20 says Nick was right. Well, yeah. I love you guys. Right. This drama is silly. I love the support of everyone. I've said my piece. Censorship is wrong. You guys are my homies. Censorship is the enemy, not each other. And I agree completely. And by the way, if Nate hadn't DM'd me and said, "Yo, I want to talk about this," I was not planning on having a stream today that I was going to be going hard in the paint on this. I'm moving on. I'm talking about political issues. I want to talk about Boozy again.
I'm just making sure we don't become the fucking enemies that we hate.
Yes.
That if someone has a different opinion than we have, or someone doesn't say things that we like or exactly the way we want to say it, then it's time to expel them from the group. Because this group of lawyers, this community has always been about one thing. We can agree to disagree. We can yell at each other, but we can go and have a beer afterwards. I don't think that's happening now. I think what's happening now is let's seek and destroy. And I think that's the fucking problem. We shouldn't be looking to destroy. Correction, yes. Hey, I don't like what you did. That's correction. All this shit is great. But this seek and destroy shit is fucked up. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
What Alita, Hogue, and Uncivil, and what Alita and Hogue were saying was essentially, we don't know what Nick did, but this, and then I remember Uncivil was talking about the Fifth Circuit, and he was and then that's when Hogue was like, well, I have to defend YouTube, but he was defending the legal point, which is the correct point, the fact that they're a private company, and there's an uphill battle in trying to get it overturned.
I disagree with that strongly, Nate, especially if they're getting 230 protections. I think no, I'm sorry, bro, that's a wrong, even a legal standpoint. For two reasons. Number one, if you're getting 230 free speech protections, you should be standing for free speech. Number two, it was ultimately it was found, and by the point that Hogue said that those words left his mouth, he was ill-informed, he was uninformed, and by the way, he still hasn't clawed back that comment that it was a mass flagging campaign that was against YouTube's TOS, therefore wasn't proper in the first place. So, YouTube acknowledged that. So YouTube acknowledged that he was only taken down through a mass flagging campaign that was in violation of its own TOS. So he was backing up essentially in that moment, Hogue inadvertently was backing up a mass flagging campaign and has not come out and said, hold on, I gotta stop you there. That's unfair because he didn't know at that point. Well, then he needs to come out and say that though. But because initially, to roll. No, but in that clip, you said you watched it too. In that clip, he said, "I don't know why he's suspended." I said, "I don't know until I find." Like he literally said those words. I don't know why he's suspended. But whenever it happens, hopefully we'll find out. YouTube will be specific. He said those words. He didn't know. You give this is the point, and I think this is something, and Drex didn't make this point, but I want to make it a little differently.
Go ahead.
I give my friends the presumption of the benefit of the doubt, right, Nate?
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah.
If you do something, Nate, Nate,
yeah,
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because I'm going to say, I assume Nate is in the right.
Yes.
I assume Nate is in the right.
Same thing for you.
And by the way, this has been difficult for me. This is not the first time I've wanted to say something on this. I kept my mouth shut during the Amber Heard trial. I kept my mouth shut during the DUI guy stuff. And because I was like, these are my friends. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And I have to assess an issue based on that and on the whole history of the issue. And that's what's happening here. These other people, like you brought up Law Talk with Mike, people don't, there's no history there with Law Talk with Mike. Other people, law of self-defense, there's no similar history to what went on with Legal Bytes, what went on with Amber Heard, once went on with DUI guys.
Yeah, but the only difference between their position and Uncivil's position, Uncivil was like, well, I'm going to say Nick is good until I see evidence that he's not. And they said, well, we're going to withhold judgment. And that seems to be the crux of this whole argument. And even listen to all their statements. I don't know how that has been put out there that they agreed with the banning, especially when you look at that thing. And I think that's the part of the misinformation that is wrong.
That last video, though, Nate, I will say that last video. And here's the other thing. And here's where we can perhaps have agree to disagree.
A disagreement. Yeah.
I think, and that's fine. That's your opinion, right? You can be BFFs with them if you want, right? I can choose, right? As my fucking choice. It's my channel. I can choose to never have Hogue on if I want ever again. Which, by the way,
of course.
Which, by the way, is going to be what I'm doing, right? And you aren't going to tell me what the fuck to do. Nobody's going to tell me what the fuck to do.
Fucking no.
I'm not going to feel compelled to have someone on my channel because Nate the lawyer comes on here and tries to shame me.
No,
in my opinion, my personal opinion is Hogue can eat a dick, right? That's my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to say that.
Yes,
I can say it because that's my opinion, and you're not going to tell me. You're not going to fucking come on here and shame me into it. That's not going to happen, right?
No, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to.
And
like I said earlier, if you want to say fuck Hogue, fuck Rick, I don't give a fuck, right? You have the right to say that, of course. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and my thing is, if you don't like somebody, I just come out and say it. Like I'll just say it, and I'm going to be the guy, Nate, who's going to come out in Lawtube and be like, I don't like this guy, and I'm just fucking saying it. I'm not streaming with him, but guess what? I still don't want him canceled. And guess what here, Nate? If YouTube cancels him, I will still say he shouldn't be canceled. I will still tweet out. I will say, I think Richard Hogue is a piece of shit. I think he's a fucking toad. But guess what? I still think that YouTube should keep him on. I don't like him, and I despise this individual, but I still think he should be on. And guess what? That's freedom of speech, Nate. That is it. Is that when you want your enemies to be there to speak? Because guess what? If you cannot speak and have this debate that we're having right now, this is freedom of speech. This is the public forum.
Everything you said is 100% correct. But I also want to say this too. When I was going to come on the stream. People say, "Watch what you say. Make sure you don't say anything too bad. You're going to lose the support." Blah 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 blah. You motherfuckers don't know me. I go into the Lions desk and I say what I want to say. And if people don't agree with it, fuck them, right?
Exactly. Because you don't need them.
Because my position is consistent as a motherfucker. And you know what that position is? Is that I don't think anyone should be run off the internet, canceled. I don't believe in any of that shit. What I do believe in is backing up your friends, being a good friend, and being a good friend isn't this internet shit. That I just like facts and evidence. And right now, I was looking at the facts and the evidence, looking at the clips and everything, and I see people seeing things that I am not seeing. That's why I said I'm coming straight to the person here to see what am I missing. And I think you're right. I think I was missing some things, but I also think you have to. I would think also, to be fair, you would admit that what's been going on is a little bit outside of the realm of regular shit. This is a little bit extreme for what it should be, right?
Yeah, I think
this is extreme.
I think there's a lot of pent up. I think what it is, Nate, is a lot of this was pent up, and a lot of people are using their and for right or for wrong, right?
Yes.
A lot of people were mad. A lot of people were mad during the Amber Heard trial and the drama there. A lot of people were mad with the DUI guy stuff. People remember, right? People have not forgotten that. They haven't said, "Oh yeah, like I totally forgot about that." They remember that, and they put it in the context of that, and that's why this thing blew up, because there's a lot of people that remember. And remember, they watch us. They watch all of us.
But it's funny because even with the DUI guy, nobody talks about when Barnes was saying that he's a fucking scam artist, bullshit DUI guy, right? No one says that, right? It's all about Alita saying her little things, but Barnes goes on and calls him a fucking scam artist, bullshit lawyer who doesn't know shit. And nobody says a word about it, right?
I didn't even know that. Actually, I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Actually, Nate, I didn't even know that happened.
Yes, Barnes said it on Viva and Barnes. He said.
Now I gotta find that clip.
Yes.
Now I gotta find that clip because I didn't even see that.
I know DUI lawyers are some of the most ethical lawyers in the world. When I think of marketing lawyers, ethics, I think of Better Call Saul as a prime example of good ethics. DUI lawyers put those guys to shame. Not saying anything bad about DUI lawyers, just a little caveat there.
So my whole thing is that there, again, I don't know why we have this selective outrage for when Barnes shouts out DUI guy. Oh, it's whatever. When Alita says something, it's like, something different.
Once again, it's the history. It's the history. Yeah. I mean, once again, I mean, we can't look at it in isolation. We have to say there's a history that, and all I think, from my standpoint, the issue here, the lesson here is more of a friendship lesson than a lawtube freedom of speech lesson. But I think I can see where we have maybe I don't want to say a disagreement, but maybe there's information that maybe we're looking at different sets information.
Yeah, I think we're all looking at the same facts, and we're interpreting them through a different lens. My lens is that I believe these are good people, and I believe, and if they said something that may have been uncuffed, but I don't believe they didn't support Nick. They told me personally when we talked about it, they supported Nick, and this was before all this thing popped off. Oh yeah, hopefully he can get back on. So it's not. I know it's not like that. But now I'm just trying to understand how the reality of what they said privately and the quirkiness in what they said publicly didn't match. And I understand how people can be upset about that. And I do understand it. But I just want to say, I just wish we would have given them more benefit of the doubt instead of just saying that they were bad people and all this other stuff, right? Because it's not like we don't know them. You were at our wedding, for God's sake. I'm surprised it wasn't a conversation like, hey, did you guys mean this?
Well, there were conversations. Remember, there were conversations, Nate, but I'm not bringing them up because I think they back up my position, not your position. And I'm being really fucking nice right now.
I didn't even know.
I'm being really fucking nice right now by not bringing them up and really and LB knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I think that I'm not saying things
now. Don't bring up.
I'm not. But Nate, you're pushing me here, and once again, I'm not doing it. But I'm going to say it that I know more that backs up my position and validates my thing that it is something personal against Nick. But I'm not going to say it. I actually have to go.
I trust you.
I really do have to go. So I'm just saying that's my personal take on it myself. But anyways, that being said, sorry guys, I really have to go. I have to go to literally the hospital. I have a friend that's sick, and like I said, I back up my friends. So I'm going to go right now. Thank you so much, Nate, for coming on.
Because your channel first got exposure and growth to a large degree through Rittenhouse and Nick, that they should have given him the benefit of the doubt. And that when you first saw that he was deplatformed by YouTube, you should have known him well enough to recognize that, hey, look, he probably is a smart enough content creator that he didn't really violate the rules, and that he's being effed over here by YouTube. And I think a lot of people sort of expected you to give him that grace, either out of friendship or out of, because you know him, or out of recognition. And I think a lot of people feel that that's why they expected a less equivocation. Because to some degree there was a degree of equivocation. And I think that some people basically feel as if that should have been a reason for you to just say, you know what, these people are effing Nick, and he's my brother, and this needs to be fixed. So that is what I think a lot of people are feeling riled up about. And that's really what I want to ask you. Was that something you considered or didn't really think about? Like, how did that play into the calculus with respect to your response?
I mean, I get that. I understand that. I simply just was looking at it in a very objective kind of way, because I saw what I was doing as supportive.
Right.
I saw what I was doing as supportive. Even if I didn't say as strongly, because I felt like it would be disingenuous for me to come out and say 100% this is an improper strike if I don't know. Because I quite honestly, I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been paying attention to the things that he's been doing, that he's been saying on his channel. I do know that there's been, a lot of things that have been coming out of his channel that have been raising alarm bells, from people sending me DMs and sending me emails and stuff, that I just was like, I'm out of it. I have nothing to do with what's going on on his channel. So I would never respond to anything, so it was something that I was like, I don't know what's happening over there. So I can't possibly conclude without already knowing the facts.
Right.
I just can't.
Okay.
And so, and I understand that some people see that as disloyalty. But I don't know. I can't do that and be, to me, it would be disingenuous to do otherwise.
I understand. Huh. Nate, do you have any questions? Are you still here, brother?
Same way Viva viewed it. So, I'm not sure why it's kind of turned left this way, but my whole thing is that, this whole mob mentality, it's so fascinating because there's an outside mob trying to go after Nick. And then now we have like this inside group mob going after certain people here. And it's like, it's like we're eating our own when we all know with the truth, who's the one that's doing this, right? we know Boozy and Kerfluffles are out there systematically saying they're after Nick's channel every day and try to do that. And right now we're spending all our resources talking about how you didn't put out the statement that you should have put out, that we expected you to put out, and not in the time that you should have put it out, and that why you should be punished for that. Like, really? Is that where we're at? Right?
Legal Mindset never reached out to any of us individually, or at least he didn't reach out to me individually behind the scenes when this all happened. I want to know what his goal was, what his real goal was in jumping straight to YouTube to call people out without even talking to people so that people were even aware of what was going on or had the facts, had the information, because it seems to me that if your goal is to create unity, if your goal is to, whip a bunch of independent creators up, to sort of like rally behind someone, I would think that the best way to do it is to talk to them personally rather than to shout at them through the internet, through a community of people, to have word then get back to these other people that are doing all kinds of different things with their own channels, with their own lives. It's not efficient. There's a lot of things that can get lost in the sauce. And also it's a different kind of approach that some people might not appreciate. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about his method of doing that as opposed to reaching out directly to us?
I agree with that. Yes, he should have. I think two things could be true. I think he could have done both. I think
that's right. You and me, right now.